Good morning and welcome to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com, and on iHeartRadio. Alongside Tracy Simpson, I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, what a busy week this week. How are things in your neck of the woods?
You know, Mark, it's always this way, and especially this time of the year. You know, we follow a lot of different sports, but, you know, we love football, of course, and baseball, and we cover it. And, man, we are really getting down to the nitty-gritty, and now we're starting to get more into with the football. Of course, 3 games in, people are starting to analyze their teams a little bit better, and so it's I don't know if it's crunch time for some teams, but definitely crunch time in the baseball world.
Yeah, big stories to come on the show today. Had a really cool family trip. Took a mini vacation this week. Had a chance to go meet Dr. Reed Timmer, the famous storm chaser. My son Benjamin is extremely interested in meteorology, and we've had opportunities to go meet and be on KARK Channel 4 weather with Todd Yacobian earlier this year. And getting to meet Reed Timmer was like a bucket list item for him. And even I learned a lot from that lecture as well. I'm ready to go storm chasing myself. So add another hat here. And
they said that he had over, I think the number was 7,000 tornadoes that he's really been on.
That's right. That's right. And he is still working with an engineering team to be able to have the ultimate super vehicle that can be driven into an EF5 tornado and survive, all in the name of science.
Yeah,
so
I saw the podcast with him and Todd, and that was very interesting, very knowledgeable. And I don't think we're going to have to worry about that this this Saturday or in tomorrow for any of the pro games around here.
Yeah, probably not. Tracy, let's dive right into our first topic of the day. There's a quote from Tyler Perry that I really, really love, and I think it applies to this segment. It says, quote, "There are people who come into your life like boosters for a rocket. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes. When these people fall off, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that they can't go where you're going." Look, that 1-point loss to Memphis last week was a gut punch for this Razorbacks team, no doubt. And it has stirred up a storm of controversy and existential questions for Razorback fans all week long. And for many, they're calling for, it's time to break up with the Arkansas Razorbacks football team. But before you pack up your fandom and move on, let's unpack what's really going on in Fayetteville right now. It is very safe to say that the seat is on fire for Sam Pittman right now. And coming up in, well, now, T-minus 1 hour, Arkansas is set to play host to Notre Dame, a nationally ranked team, a team that has been perennially very, very good in the CFP scene, in the college football scene in general. This is a game that going in, I don't think that you can make the argument that even with home field advantage, that Arkansas is favored in this contest. The 18-point advantage over Memphis erased. The 1-point loss to a still undefeated Memphis Tigers team has everyone scrambling. Is this the final game of the season for Coach Sam Pittman?
I don't think so. Even at 1-2, Notre Dame, you know, like you said, number 22, and I deal with rankings about as I deal with anything this early in the season. You've already seen several of the top teams already fall out of it, but rankings are like anything, Mark. They proved, you know, those sports writers and people like that either they know what they're talking about or they don't know what they're talking about. I think that a lot of folks right now have got Pittman on the hot seat, and rightly so. I mean, 18 points, like you said, and come back, but then that's just not it. This has been, you know, the wedding's over. Everything's over. I mean, as far as the new stuff.
You're right.
These are his players.
You're right.
And these are his coaches. And I'm sorry, but you can't point the finger anywhere else. The head coach takes all the strife. And now we were talking about the defense falling, defense this, and then the offense, and that's Petrino. So, you know, and everybody was on a high horse about him. So offense, defense, head coach, even special teams missing field goals has been, you know, a problematic part of the team. So I don't think this game is, because just it's Notre Dame. They were supposed to play this game, in 2020, and then COVID came, all right? And that was the beginning of Pittman's first year. So this game has been marked on the schedule for a long time for everybody. And I don't think this is the beginning of the end, but I think that if he doesn't shape up real quick and I don't know how he's going to be honest with you, with this team.
I don't know with this team. I don't. Yeah. What I do know is that the Razorbacks have 4 of their next 5 games at home, including today's matchup with the Fighting Irish. And I do know that there is a former Arkansas head coach inside the coaching staff, Bobby Petrino. We all know how that ended, but before it ended, there was quite a respectable amount of success attached to his tenure with the team. Also, it looks like that the team has slowly possibly been distancing itself from Sam Pittman and starting to fuel that conversation from no one else except the athletic director of the Razorbacks himself, Hunter Yurachek. He was a guest speaker at the Little Rock Touchdown Club earlier this month, and that while he said that Arkansas's men's basketball and baseball teams were set up for success, he was very candid and very brutally honest when he said football was not. He said, quote, "I believe we're set up to win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward. And I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football," he says, quote, "football, where we are right now, we are not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that. But I think we're set up to compete really well in the Southeastern Conference, especially now with the new revenue sharing model." Look, we know that the Razorbacks football program is at a disadvantage, even with NIL money, compared to the other schools in the SEC. But that's a bold statement to make at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, which is filled with former Razorback players hosting the event, David Basil. And, Hog Nation is everywhere. It's not just in Northwest Arkansas. So that's a pretty big statement coming from Hunter Yurachek. And let me remind you, that statement came after the Razorbacks lost to Ole Miss, not after the Razorbacks lost to Memphis. Almost seems like they're slowly setting it up just in case if there is that midseason coaching change, which I also will throw out. Oklahoma State and other schools around the country have already pulled the plug really early on in the season on their guys.
Yeah, and that's a prime example, Mark. You're exactly right. He was God's gift to Oklahoma State, so that doesn't mean, taking him to bowls.
He was a man. He was 40.
He was the guy for Oklahoma State. If there was ever a cowboy, it was definitely him, a former player, former coach on both the offensive assistant jobs and then now head coach and all through his hairdos and everything like that. But it doesn't matter who you are. And it's the same way up on the hill. Let's be candid about it, just like you said, Mark. This is a business now. We used to refrain from talking about the kids a little bit. I say kids, these young men.
Yes.
Not anymore. They're making a check. They're getting a check. This is a job, a J-O-B. I know they're still in college, but guess what? This is a job, and we don't have to refrain from calling them out now. It's just that simple. And as it is right now, not only the coaches, but some of the players, there's question marks there also, Mark. And next year, well, who knows what next year is, but as it is right now, I think that this is Pittman's coup de grace. I'll be honest with you.
This
Great
game
guy.
right here. I think this game right here. I believe that if Arkansas can come in and they can beat Notre Dame today, home field advantage, passionate fan base, they're still going to be there supporting the team and in the stands. It will save his job. If Arkansas falls to Notre Dame, I'm not Hunter Yurachek, and I'm not making that call, but I believe that it may be his final game as head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Personal opinion. When you talk about breaking up with the team, look, I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world if I said, yeah, break up, find a new team, find a better team to throw your passion and your fan base behind. Because while I am always on record in saying that I'm not an Arkansas Razorbacks fan, I am a fan of some pretty terrible teams right now. White Sox crossed the 100 loss mark again this year. Yep. The Bears are abysmal, even though they beat the Cowboys.
I don't know. They looked pretty good the other day.
Well, we can talk a whole hour about that matchup. And the Utah Jazz are... Well, they may never win an NBA title ever. So I'm a fan of some really, really, really bad teams. So I get it. If you're tired of mediocrity being rebranded as progress, maybe it's time to emotionally detach from the squad, as my good friend Grant Merrill has decided to do on Facebook this week. He says, look, I'll always love the Hogs, but I'm stepping away. I'm
Done.
stepping away right now.
Done.
I cannot do this. It's too much on my emotional health, my mental health. Hey, and that is a healthy decision to make. But if you still believe in that grit, that tradition, that potential of Arkansas football, maybe this is the moment to lean in and demand better. Season's not over. Season has a lot of games still to go, a lot of SEC games to go.
Yeah.
And the Razorbacks could still hit that 6-win threshold to go to a bowl game. It's not what we want, but
We said 8.
I said 8.
That's what I'm saying.
8 is in doubt right now.
Does 8 save his job?
Oh, 8 certainly saves his job, but that's also going to require him to get past the next 3 hours from now.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I love Sam Pittman. I love his personality. I love how great he is with the community. He is a great role model and a great man to represent the state of Arkansas, period. But when it comes to football success, maybe time's starting to run out on, is this ever going to happen? So let's break down this matchup a little bit. Of course, Razorbacks, Fighting Irish. Notre Dame's 1-2 also coming into this matchup.
And their defense isn't that good.
Defense isn't very good, but the run game is. They got a couple of running backs that I think Arkansas is going to have a little bit of trouble containing, especially with having issues against Ole Miss, having issues against Memphis. Now, Memphis is 4-0. I need to keep repeating that, but Arkansas is the only Power 5 team on their schedule this year. I suspect that they're going to keep rallying off wins. I just don't know how meaningful those wins are going to be. Here's the deal. You've got to salvage the season, and you've got to do it today. You've got to do it now. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of talk going on behind the scenes. First of all, you got to drown it out and play football. Second of all, you got to stop the run. You have to stop the run. You have to limit turnovers. You have to allow protection for Taylon Green at quarterback. You've got to do all the things, and you have to do all the things well today against an elite level opponent. I know they're 1-2. I know they are not as good as they were over the past couple of years whenever they were a top 4 team and, played for championships and things like that. It is still Notre Dame. The tradition is still there. They're coming in expecting for this to be a cupcake cakewalk. Arkansas has to be locked in well before right now. But this game matters if you're going to be considered a successful season or not. Because you got Tennessee on the road next, Texas A&M at home, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Missouri.
Jeez.
It doesn't get easier. Notre Dame is not easy, but it doesn't get easier from here.
Well, and here's the kicker, too, though. And if you're looking in the outside of the bubble, looking in, and if you follow Vegas at all, look, it opened up at 6.5, and actually the line's gone down. So somebody believes in Arkansas. Not all the heavyweights are kind of got the wells, they say, are betting on Arkansas.
A lot of bettors may also be trying to come up with a big payday as well, rooting for the underdog.
Well, there you go, and they could have it in a foursome or something. But here's the kicker. I'm thinking, look, we just talked about a little bit, touched on the no defense. Of course, Arkansas has no, I'm not even going to go there. Everybody knows that. But 63.5 points, that means somebody's going to score a lot of points, and I don't think it's going to be that lopsided. So, Mark, I'm going to go out on the ledge right here. I'm not going to jump, but I'm going to go out on the ledge and say, look, Arkansas has a chance here. I don't think it's going to be that lopsided. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
And a few breaks here, a few breaks there, it's manageable. I'm telling you, because they have not seen a team. If Arkansas, now that's if, like you always say, quotations, I got my hands up, if they can just take care of the ball. Taylon Green's been real sloppy here as of late.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're
Pressure's
talking.
been on.
Oh, well, yeah, but still, though, some interceptions that he's thrown just not very candid like him. Also, he cannot be the leading rusher.
No.
There's no way he can be the leading rusher. That's what we got 2 of those guys back there for, and we've got to protect the ball. That is something that is utmost. You and I have talked about that since we started calling games 16 years ago. If you don't protect the ball, it's just that simple. And here's another deal. What's with the penalties all of a sudden? I mean, offense, how do you jump off? This is not the first game of the year. How do you jump off? You come from a timeout, from the quarter stopping to come out. And then another thing, you got 13 guys on the field. How do you do that? Not 12, 13, starting the fourth quarter. Don't get me too excited. You're the one with the heart.
Here's the deal. Razorbacks can do one of 2 things. They can just let Taylon Green air it out and let the passing offense do its thing, and it will do its thing, and it will put up points in this game today. But if you want this to be a shootout matching score for score, I think Notre Dame has the advantage there.
No doubt.
Here's what you have to do. Taylon Green's going to get a lot done through the passing game, but it has to be the running game. Hopefully not the Taylon Green running game, but it is what it is. Notre Dame averages more than 7 yards per Perry. If you let them have the football, they're going to grind the football, and they're going to take control of the tempo and the clock and ultimately the football game. You got to keep that offense off the field. The only way to do that is to keep your offense on the field, utilize that home crowd, and play with purpose. This is a big one, and a lot is at stake in this one. This feels like a playoff game.
No, it is. But if you looked at here's the bottom line. If you look at what Memphis and Ole Miss did, a 5-1 box, okay, not just 4 on the line. Of course, they were able to get to him with 4, but a 5-1 box where the 1 is the spy on Taylor Green. And that's how they were able to get to him. That's how they sacked him. That's how they ran him down, even though he had over 100 yards rushing. It wasn't by design. It was not by design. So a 5-1 box, and you don't think that Notre Dame hasn't seen that on film? Yes, they have. I'm just telling you right now, they will have a spy on him, and they'll probably bring in one of those guys that's not normally on the field that can run about a 4.5 and keep up with him. Because as it is right now, you keep him in the box, you've got a chance. He's not a pocket passer. We've seen that already. He likes to get out and maneuver a little bit. So a 5-1 box. Let's see what the defense comes out in Notre Dame. Because you're right, their possession game is going to go towards Notre Dame.
Text us your score predictions for today's matchup, Arkansas and Notre Dame. The text line, 501-915-1300. More to come on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. We'll break down Week 4 of the NFL when we return on 92.9 KVRE.
Second quarter coming up.
Week 4 of the NFL season is upon us. It started Thursday night with the Seattle Seahawks taking down the Arizona Cardinals 23-20. And we've got a huge slate of games this weekend. Tracy, any big surprises that you saw from last week? I know we kind of alluded to the one.
Well, not only that one, but several of them. Mark, the week before we did really well, but once again, and you alluded to it too, how many more games are going to be settled unless it's just a complete blowout by these field goals and blocked extra points or blocked field goals.
And shout outs to kickers everywhere. This has to be so great for like aspiring high school and college kickers to know that you're so important out there. But you're right. You're right. Hey, this has been a very competitive NFL season, and that is with, I think it's like 6 teams that are winless at this point. Yeah. And 2 of them will battle in prime time on Monday night for their first win of the season. Let's break down some of the matchups coming up. First, in our early slate of games on Sunday, Minnesota Vikings are 2-1, and so are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you like in this one?
Well, top of the morning to you, because it's going to be awful early.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes. This is one of those,
though, not over there, but here.
This is one of those international games. It kicks off, I believe, at 8:30 Central Time.
Yes.
On Sunday morning. Still a pretty, typically when they do these international games, they kind of throw those like throwaway matches over there. Like here's Jaguars Texans, enjoy. Like Vikings and Steelers, these are 2 teams that could potentially be in the playoffs in like way down the road months from now. I really like both of these squads, and I didn't think that I would say that about the Pittsburgh Steelers because I really just don't like Aaron Rodgers, but Pittsburgh's defense is a little bit suspect, but that kicking game is there. Love Chris Boswell, and the offense has been doing some things. So I'm really excited about this one. Steelers Vikings, who comes out on top?
As much as I'd love to see the Vikings come out on top, here's what they've gone across the pond, of course, and I don't know how much, but Pittsburgh's got a day on them. Okay, Pittsburgh's got a day on them, and that means a lot. 24 hours. Do they have enough time to get ready for Pittsburgh? I don't think so. And of course, Minnesota has seen Aaron Rodgers before.
Oh, for sure.
They've seen Aaron Rodgers before.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times.
All right. So and who hasn't? But here's the kicker. Does that 24 hours make a big difference? I think so. Sam Darnold, I don't know, man. Pittsburgh's got a pretty good defense, and Sam has a tendency to sometimes, I don't know. I've got to go with Pittsburgh. I don't want to, but they've got one of the best coaches ever. And as much as I'm not a Rodgers fan either, him playing, bouncy ball, the teams he's been with and stuff, I just think that 24 hours makes a difference, Mark.
I like the Steelers in this one as well. Commanders at Falcons.
Jeez.
Atlanta failed to score points against the Carolina Panthers a week ago. The Washington Commanders are without Jaden Daniels due to injury, and even though they're 2-1, there are a lot of question marks surrounding the team in the nation's capital. Falcons, hosting the Commanders. Who you got?
Defense for Washington still. I don't even think Atlanta. Maybe they don't even score again.
Really?
And a low-scoring game, of course, and that's what they've got in the books. Also, I think the defense will shine for Washington as much as I'd love to see them with a loss.
I know you would.
My brother Richard wants them to win. I got to go with the Commanders.
I'm surprised that the Falcons are off to such just a lackluster start, but I'm with you, Commanders, in this one. The Bills play host to the Saints, who are in full-blown tank mode. We knew that going in. Saints are 0-3. Bills are 3-0. In the words of Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber, is there a chance?
No.
Moving on. Lions play host to the Cleveland Browns, who picked up their first win a week ago. Lions are 2-1. Browns are 1-2. Who do you have in this one?
That was a fleek at the dog pound. I mean, definitely. Look, Detroit, I think they're back to hitting on all cylinders. Some of those plays they had, some of the trick plays looked like the old coach was there. Of course, your coach now. But I just see that Detroit is back in rhythm, so to speak, and they proved it the other night. I mean, hey, look. That was a game that me and you messed up on, but
I think everybody messed up on it.
Well, I couldn't believe it, but intercepting, I didn't think the defense would show up like that. The Lions looking pretty good right now on all cylinders.
Hey, Lions took down what I think is a very good Baltimore Ravens team, and they will. They thank the Browns for taking down the Green Bay Packers,
Exactly.
And now they're going to thank them extra hard by scoring a ton of points on them at home. Texans and Titans. Someone has to win. We think they're both 0-3. 0-3. It's at Houston. Who comes up from the Losers Bowl?
This is one of those ones that was supposed to have been in Ireland, right? Is that what you're saying?
This is the kind of match that they would put overseas normally.
Go with the home field advantage. Yep.
Houston picks up the first win of the season?
Yeah, I think so.
I say no. Go Tennessee.
Titans, is that quarterback he just hasn't got the professional look yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then Houston don't have anybody either.
Well, we all know what happened with Derrick Henry. He rotted in Tennessee and flourished when he got traded anywhere else. Just happened to be Baltimore. The New England Patriots will play host to the Carolina Panthers. They're both 1-2. Who do you like?
We thought that the Patriots would come out on top the other day, or really did. Their coach, he's struggling right now, but he's a proven winner where he's been. And that one's going to be a tough one. I'll be honest with you right now. That one, I had that one checked off. And I just see the Patriots struggling right now, but I've still got to go with them.
Carolina coming off of a great performance, shutting out the Atlanta Falcons. I really like New England right now. They are utilizing Hunter Henry at the tight end position in great ways, the leading receiver for the team at home. I believe the Patriots are going to even it up, go 500 here. Here's another David versus Goliath matchup. The 3-0 Chargers at the 0-3 Giants. Giants didn't look very good at all against the Kansas City Chiefs. We had a feeling that they weren't going to be much this season, but the Chargers, who, I mean, obviously we're going with the Chargers, I assume, in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Chargers are the real deal in this one, by far. Keenan Allen coming back, the resurgence of Justin Herbert. I mean, this team looks like they could possibly be AFC title game contenders.
We talked about this last week. As long as Herbert stays healthy, okay, and that's that big F, once again with quotation marks, as long as he stays healthy, the sky's the limit for these Chargers. It's just that simple. Bolts will be bolting everywhere. How's that?
Oh, yeah. Streaks of lightning. Hey, here's a big matchup here for you. A battle of 2 3-0 teams. It's the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Playoff implications already brewing. Both of these teams expected to win their respective divisions. Philadelphia travels to Tampa Bay. Can the Eagles stay undefeated, the defending Super Bowl champs?
Both teams last week had to do one of those oopsie doodles at the end of the game to win.
Yeah.
And special teams, once again, coming through for the Eagles. And believe it or not, the way that they blocked some of those, we kept going back and forth. Colson and I did. He used that same blocking formation in his game to block a field goal and block a punt.
Yep.
2 of them in one game on that same deal. So special teams making a big instance. Tampa Bay, even though it's at Tampa Bay, Eagles are flying high right now.
I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL, and it's not even close. And that includes the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts as we go to our afternoon games. Colts at the Rams. Colts are undefeated. Indiana Jones, the quarterback, takes on L.A. The Rams are 2-1, and they are at home.
Did you see him the other night on Monday Night Football with the with the brothers. Mm-hmm. Not much of a personality, but then that doesn't mean you can't play football. I think,
how many players have we met that were just like that?
well, so the thing about it is, though, I think he's focused. I've never seen that before, especially when he was at the Giants.
Yeah.
He wasn't focused. He's got a new nickname, obviously.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay,
I
anyway.
love it.
But I like him. Of course, I said everything that the Rams couldn't do, and they did it anyway. And I like their receiving core. There's nothing about that. But a little bit of trouble. Am I saying Indy? Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm going Rams in this one because they almost just took down the defending Super Bowl champs. It was really, really close. It's at home. I think the Rams are really, really good.
What about the Indy's running game? Can they? Dude, he's on fire. You said it last week.
Well, I just saw the Rams stifle Saquon Barkley, who easily hit 200 time and time again against them last year. And I know that I just said last year, but the Rams' run defense does not play around. That's why I have them favored at home. The 2-1 Jags at the 3-0 San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
Pinch me, I must be dreaming. I don't know what's in the water down in the Bay, but San Francisco's here to play. Do they stay undefeated with the Jags coming to town?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And believe it or not, you and I talked about them being, a lot of guys out there with injuries. Well, guess what? All of a sudden they're healthy. Now they're back, sort of.
I would make the argument that they're still injured and they just don't care.
I don't even think
it doesn't seem to matter.
They don't even have a doctor on the sidelines anymore. They told him to stay off the sidelines.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
You can't be injured. You can't be injured in air quotes if you're not diagnosed in air quotes.
He's not allowed on the field.
I will admit I have maybe an unhealthy love for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year.
Well,
I don't know what's going on with Travis Hunter because he's not really being utilized as much as the number 2 pick that they traded up to go get and spend $1 bazillion on. But the 2-1, I think that they're in a good position to take down the 49ers. I don't know if it's just because I'm in love with the team for some weird reason this year, but I'm picking the Jags in this one for the upset. I am.
TL's going to lead them there, huh?
Well,
No.
I think so. I'm standing behind it. We'll see if I'm wrong next week. Ravens at Chiefs. It's not about who's going to win. It's about who's going to go to 1-3 when they lose. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Who comes out on top? It's in Arrowhead.
Yeah, well, that's been a problem for the Ravens.
That's been
a big problem for the Ravens, and I think it's going to continue to be a big problem for the Ravens.
Chiefs with a lot of problems in the wide receiving core. Travis Kelce has not been the guy through these games so far this year. Derrick Henry can't hold on to the football on the Ravens side. This could be lower scoring than we thought it might be.
Well, they got it at 43.5, and I think you're right. Defense shines here. Still, though, there's no way that the QB for the Ravens can throw another interception, get fumbles. I just don't think their inconsistency is going to be a part of this game. Ravens.
Going with the Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens as well. Bad news for Kansas City. The Bears are 1-2, and so are the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas for this one. Bears came up with a big win over the Dallas Cowboys. Look, I'll admit, I still don't know how they did it, but they did it. Bears at Raiders. Someone will go to 500 with a win. Which team will it be?
Well, you heard me straight here on the show when I said there's something about Dallas going
to Chicago.
It always happens. I don't know if the ghost of Ditka or whatever, whoever was there, you know what I'm saying? But they have problems. But then Chicago has problems when they leave Chicago.
Yes.
And there's there's nothing that Vegas has got to make me pull for them except for their new coach, which I'm not a big fan of. But still, though, can they muster it up? I'm going to Bears.
I'm going against my own team.
What?
I'm picking the Raiders in this one. And it's great. It's great, honestly, because if I'm wrong, hey, my team won. But if I'm right, hey, then I know that I was right. I am picking against the Bears in this one. But go Bears anyway. Hey, talking about those Cowboys, they're back at home, no place like it, and they have the Green Bay Packers who are fresh off their first loss of the season. Can the Cowboys rebound? Kind of a weird homecoming for McCarthy, right, with the Packers in the building?
Home for McCarthy or home for somebody else?
I don't know. He used to. It's like running into your ex-wife.
What about Parsons? That's going to be the biggest homecoming right there.
This is going to be
his family still lives down there.
There's a reason this match happens to be on Sunday Night Football.
Exactly.
Okay, the world is going to be watching who comes up with the win? Does Jerry Jones get validated and say, yes, we got rid of Parsons and that was the right move and look why I'm right? Or does the Green Bay Packers make him relish that decision?
Dallas can't stop anybody. It's just that simple.
They couldn't stop the Bears.
And their coach right now, I'm sorry, he can't coach a goatee hay. Their defensive coach. It's just that simple.
That is one of my favorite catchphrases of yours.
Yeah, it's just that simple. Green Bay's going to run all over them. Dallas will struggle because guess who's going to be in their backfield all night long?
Micah Parsons.
And
who knows the team better than Parsons?
That's right. And Dak will give it back Prescott. It's just that simple.
Let's just go to Monday where the Jets...
Wait a minute, I'm going against my own team and you're going against your own team. Wait, this is a fallacy right there.
We might just be logical men. We might be just like smart individuals.
Call out Supertramp.
Let's go to Monday where the Jets and the Dolphins will play football, and one is expected to win that game. And one will pick up their first win of the season. 2 0-3's battle. I think we had another 0-3 versus 0-3 matchup earlier on. Jets at Dolphins. Which team is less worse?
If Miami wins this, does it save his job?
Yes.
The coach?
Yes, for 1 week.
For 1 week.
For 1 week,
yeah.
yes.
Is he going to wear those knickers again?
I don't know. Tommy Gilliland wears shorts every Friday night. I don't know. It's just a thing. But
knickers?
Whatever.
Jets.
I'm going Dolphins.
I don't care about that game, to be honest with you.
Maybe you care about this one, Bengals at Broncos.
You betcha I care about
Cincinnati's 2-1. Broncos are 1-2 despite playing some very good football in the mix there. Broncos are at home, Mile High Stadium. What you think? Bengals at Broncos.
You know where I'm going, baby. Broncos have got to. Hey, look.
You have to, right?
They've already got a couple of games that were taken from them. It's just that simple.
Sure.
All right.
I agree with that.
Let's just not go there. And it's Mile High, Cincinnati. Who's their quarterback now? I don't even know if they know who their quarterback's going to start.
It's not Joe Burrow, I'll tell you that.
What?
And we found that out very quickly against Minnesota in the Battle of the Backups last week.
Yes. So, Denver's going to roll all over them. They're favored by 8.5.
Yeah, I think Denver takes this one as well. That is segment 2 on our show. Don't go anywhere because we have to talk a lot about Major League Baseball when we return right here on 92.9 KVRE.
Third quarter coming up.
And we're back, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, this weekend, we should know every playoff team in Major League Baseball. Some of the races are coming down to the wire. And, of course, we're recording this show on Friday afternoon, and it's very likely that some of these things could change before it airs Saturday morning. I'm hopeful that the Houston Astros drop out of contention, but what I will say is that the Seattle Mariners have locked up the AL West, and they got a big 9-2 win over the Colorado Rockies earlier this week. It's their first AL West championship in 24 years, the last one coming in 2001 when they famously won 116 games, featuring rookie sensation Ichiro Suzuki, only the 4th division crown in franchise history. Seattle flying high, coming from behind to unseat Houston for the AL West title. And as we talk about that, that brings us into our next discussion here. So while we don't at this moment know all the playoff teams, what we do know is that there is a highly contentious race for the 2025 American League Most Valuable Player. Cal Raleigh for the Seattle Mariners and Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. It's one of the most compelling MVP races in recent memory. So let's break it down a little bit and maybe have our fans give their input as well on who you think the AL MVP should be. First, you got to start with Cal Raleigh for the Seattle Mariners. This week, he hit home runs number 59 and 60, reaching that 60 home run club, who now is just the 7th player in MLB history to hit 60 home runs in a season. He broke records for most home runs by a catcher and by a switch hitter, surpassing legends like Mickey Mantle and Salvador Perez. And as a catcher, defensively, he contributes in ways that no stat fully captures, like framing pitches, throwing runners out, caught stealing, going to second base, in managing a top 6 American League pitching staff. He just led Seattle to its first division title since 2001 with clutch performances down the stretch. And here's the deal. This is likely the greatest season we've ever seen as a catcher ever in the history of the game. catchers rarely win MVPs, and even fewer lead the league in home runs and RBIs, but he has done just that this year. His workload behind the plate amplifies his value. Of course, he was a gold and platinum glove winner in 2024. He leads the league in home runs. He leads the American League in RBI and has a respectable 248 average. Thoughts on Cal Raleigh, the big dumper?
Well, Mark, and of course, we're being a little, or I am, you are too, with prejudice because simply where he was here and over
has connections to the Arkansas Travelers,
and we've heard him talk about it. Plus, he gives back to the Boys and Girls Club over there and stuff. So yeah, the connections are strong, and so yeah, we feel, of course, and Travelers being the farm team, and I've got to lean that way a little bit. And plus, being Johnny Bench, one of my all-time favorite on my list back in the day when the Reds and the Orioles had so many of those great.
And of course, we got a chance to see Johnny Bench this year, Hot Springs Baseball Weekend.
So, and I did ask him a question about that. And he said, because got to give credit where credit's due. One of the best ever.
Yeah.
He said that, and what he did say with this was the game has changed tremendously, is what he said. Pitching has changed as well as all the other defensive players on the field, and that's what Bench said. I mean, and I would agree to that because I think it's tougher times. Not that the pitching is better, but I think it's a different style of pitching. And what he's done to hit 60 plus, winking at you right now, we never know what's going on tonight.
Right.
But to hit that mark that he's doing, both sides of the plate, and to call games too. Now that right there,
just the physicality,
everything together, and the consecutive games that he's played.
Sure.
Okay. And I've got to lean towards him a little bit. Nothing against Judge. The guy's a tremendous ball player. And for him also to be out, how many? He missed 6 games?
He missed 10.
10, okay. 10
missed 10 games with an elbow injury.
Right.
So let's talk about Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. Certainly the face of the franchise and my son River's favorite player in the Major League Baseball, even though it pains me to say that. Aaron Judge, 51 home runs, 109 RBIs. He leads the American League with 36 intentional walks. That's an American League record, by the way, and it's arguable if you put a whole lot of stock in intentional walks as a stat. But Aaron Judge does lead the MLB in batting average, on base percentage, and his on base percentage has been matched only 3 times since 2005. So in the past 20 years, only 3 other players have had the on base percentage that he has. They all share the same name, Aaron Judge. Set the AL record for intentional walks. He's very feared at the plate, obviously so, and he did miss 10 games with an elbow injury, but despite the injuries, he has still been able to maintain elite production and help the Yankees surge very close to the top of the AL East as we're recording this show here. He's a 2-time MVP already. He's certainly on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and he anchors that lineup in that number 2 spot that I think would absolutely be lost without him. So who is the MVP? And what does MVP really mean? This is a topic that's been debated for years and decades. Aaron Judge, certainly if you're looking at offensive production and wins above replacement, Aaron Judge probably has the overall edge there. But if you want to look at historic milestones, positional value, and maybe just overall team impact, and looking at what Seattle has done, first division crown in 24 years, you might tip your hat to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. So if you value all-around offensive dominance, Judge is your guy. If you believe in positional difficulty, clutch performance, rewriting the record books, Raleigh makes a pretty compelling case for you there. So who will be the American League MVP? I believe that it'll be Cal Raleigh because I'm very romantic about baseball, my favorite sport of all time, and we're in an age right now which could be later on down the road considered one of the best eras of baseball ever, and that includes my team being in the cellar, and that's fine. But you have the Shohei Ohtanis of the world who could go down as the greatest player to ever play the game, and then you have Cal Raleigh seemingly coming up out of nowhere and doing things that's never been done in this game before. So to me, that generational impact and to rewrite history and say, we've never seen this before, to me, that is what a most valuable player means, especially when it means if you take away Cal Raleigh, does Seattle win the American League West over Houston or maybe even Texas before they fell off? If you take Aaron Judge out of the lineup, which we saw 10 games with an elbow injury this year. And then we had to have some weird like positional changes, like putting him in left because it's not as far of a throw. The Yankees still won games without Aaron Judge this year. So to me, it's a no-brainer. I believe it's going to be Cal Raleigh. What do you think?
I'm with you 110%. Like I was saying, the game has changed, and with most of the times you see the managers pulling out, and calling plays, and calling pitches and stuff like that. But they stated this even at the All-Star break, how he's got the earpiece in his ear, but he calls a lot of those pitches, and so he's working double overtime, and I say double. He's also hitting from both sides of the plate. He hasn't missed games. He's leading the league in homers, and that's a tough position to play.
For sure.
I tried that a couple of times simply because I was the only guy there to be able to, and I think maybe the chest plate fit me.
You can make the argument it is the most difficult position on the field.
Oh, gosh, and with my knees, anyway, that's a whole other story. But sure enough, he's win, lose, or draw as far as the World Series. Yeah. He's my MVP.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Cal Raleigh doesn't care about the MVP. He wants his team to go all the way and win a championship.
Of course he does.
And just looking at this playoff bracket and the potential playoff bracket, because like we said, as of right now, we don't know all the playoff teams. But regardless of all the teams that make it, this looks like one of the most competitive MLB playoff pictures that we have seen in a very long time. There are teams that could win it for the first time ever. There are teams that can retain their dominance, such as the Dodgers of the world or the Yankees of the world. Those two faced off in the World Series last year. They're back in the mix this year. The Cubs are in the mix, so I have a rooting interest. I love the Blue Jays. There's like a team for everybody to root for in this. And that is really exciting to see. We want to know what you think about American League MVP. You can text us 501-915-1300. Tracy, big news coming in Major League Baseball this week. Upon further review, the automated balls and strikes challenge system will enter the MLB next season. The Joint Competition Committee voted Tuesday afternoon to bring the ABS challenge system all the way to the big leagues after a few years of experimentation in the minor leagues and used in MLB spring training and the All-Star game this year. Is this good for the game or bad for the game?
Well, I think you and I talked about this, a couple of months ago.
Yes, we did.
Okay, and they've been using it in the minors since 18 or 19, one of the two.
That's right.
And so, this isn't just overnight kind of thinking it over and having it done. They've really gone through the motions and seeing and it does work. It really does work. Now, from an umpire standpoint, of course he don't want it in there. He put his foot down and no, it's good for the game. It really is.
It's tremendous for the game.
Everybody needs to check the balances.
Yeah.
And there's nothing different here.
And umpires make mistakes.
They're human.
You can make the argument, they're rigged, and we know the Tim Donaghy thing, and we can go down a rabbit hole with that. But umpires legitimately just make mistakes. Baseball games are long games. It's a long time to sit there and be crouched down behind the catcher and everything. You're going to make mistakes. And why not? No other sport really has that level of intricacy where every play. If you think about basketball and you think about NFL, instant replay, and you can use video evidence to overturn a play. I don't see why you couldn't be able to do it for balls and strikes also. And thankfully it'll remove that, you can't argue balls and strikes thing, because umpires have gotten it wrong. They've gotten it wrong in huge ways that have impacted literal history to the game, taking away that perfect game. So, I'm fully on board for this. I'm glad that the MLB did this. Rob Manfred will be praised for this as one of the big achievements of his tenure as commissioner of the game. I love it. And I cannot wait to see it in action.
Well, and the challenge too, right? You win, you get it back.
That's right.
Similar to football.
Yep.
So
you get two. You get two.
You get two of them.
It's way better than zero, and I'm okay with that.
Now, explain to the listeners also, not just the pitcher and catcher who get to throw you their flag or challenge. Is it also the
dugout?
The dugout.
The dugout. Okay. Yeah. So the coach can signal for a challenge, or the pitcher or the catcher. Typically, you see it with the tapping of the hat, kind of thing, the double tap of the hat, and I think it's gonna be really great for the game.
But the hitter can't. See, I think that's what's up with that.
No, the hitter will be able to also.
Okay,
the hitter is also able to do so.
Okay,
yes,
right. That's what I wanted to signify right there.
Yeah, so it works both ways. Otherwise, it'd be like really, really lopsided.
Or does the hitter? Or does he look into the dugout and give him the nod, just like
you just tap the helmet. It's a double tap of the helmet at the plate. If you disagree with the call, they will do it. It goes against your team's challenges.
That's what I'm saying.
Your team gets two. I should say two failed challenges. Gets 2 failed challenges. But, I mean, if you don't use them, you lose them.
Yep, there you go.
I would expect every team to do it twice a game. And who knows?
No doubt.
Who knows?
In a heartbeat.
How many games out there in the history of the game, of course, we don't even know, the stats not in front of us, how many games, though, could have been decided
coulda, shoulda, woulda,
based on one call?
Come on. Gosh.
Tons.
It's just like timeouts.
That's right.
Why you better use them? I mean, why not? Good call on that one.
We've got much more to come on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. Yes.
Okay.
Much more to come on the show. We've got our local roundup coming up next for a big story impacting Hot Springs team. We'll tell you more in just a moment. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE.
Fourth quarter coming up.
Our local roundup is here, and we're going to dive right on in with a big story this week. More shakeups with the Hot Springs Wise Guys, now known as the Arkansas Diamonds. Arkansas Diamonds general manager Chris Goodman announced that the team had fired him earlier this week. The Diamonds, then playing as the Hot Springs Wise Guys, advanced to Arena Mania 2 against the Duluth Harbor Monsters during the 2025 season. Goodman, announced as GM of the year, led the team in its inaugural season basically to the Super Bowl of arena football and has been replaced as GM of the team. Hannah Thaxton, who is the vice president of Arkansas Diamonds football, issued the following statement in the comments section of a Facebook post by the Inside the Arena page on Facebook and said, quote, "The decision was reached after careful evaluation and was not made lightly. We are committed to building an organization that upholds high standards of leadership, accountability, and performance. We thank Chris for his contributions and wish him the best moving forward. Our focus remains on strengthening the Diamonds organization and delivering a strong future for our players, fans, and community." Chris Goodman announced his own firing on Facebook before that post and said that while it did catch him by surprise, he wanted to thank the fans and the city of Hot Springs for a dream season and showing just how special this could be in 1 year. And he also did say, quote, "I still love and respect the team and urge you all to do the same." But it's been a big offseason already. The team has sold. There's new ownership. They have rebranded. Now the GM of the year is ousted after reaching the equivalent of the Super Bowl for the team. What is happening in Hot Springs?
I don't think they know what's happening. How do you do that to somebody? How do you find loyalty now with anybody, especially with the fan base? It does not make one iota of sense. And me personally, on a level that I was just getting into the Wise Guys, I'm sorry, Mark, my diamond's been cracked.
Yeah, it feels like it's mixed results, of course, and it's still, with the rebranding, we spent a whole year purchasing, gear, merchandise for the Hot Springs Wise Guys, and the team did say that they will do trade-ins where you can trade in your old Wise Guys jerseys and gear for Arkansas Diamonds gear, the new shiny stuff. And while I do think that's absolutely the right move, I don't know that this really helps ease any of the tensions that we have. The rebrand and taking Hot Springs out of the name and the Wise Guys and, the historic gambling-esque, mafia-esque atmosphere, it really doesn't feel like Hot Springs team with the rebrand. And many are still thinking that, while of course no decision has been made, no announcement's been made, but the future of the team in Hot Springs certainly kind of feels like it's in doubt here. I've known Chris Goodman for a long time, back in his days with the Arkansas Punishers, semi-pro professional team. I do believe he's going to land on his feet and have a huge opportunity come his way, a successful first season. Sad to see him go.
No doubt about it. I mean, I just don't think that's, me personally, I don't think it's right. I know there's nothing right in life sometimes, but the guy did what he was supposed to do, and you're supposed to get credit for that. And I just think it was, I don't know, how would you want to get involved now with a team that has no loyalty? Sorry. It's just that simple.
Feels like having to rebuild.
But we'll go to the games.
Well, of course we're going to go to the games. We're going to continue to support the team because no matter what the team is called or what it looks like, it is a great thing for Hot Springs, and I will continue to support it to keep it here in Hot Springs.
Hey, how about Loyola's sister, Jean? Huh?
Yeah. Take the rest of the day off, Sister Jean. You earned it. 104 years old.
Yep.
What a staple.
What an icon there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. That's our show, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. We're here Saturdays at 10 a.m. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. We'll see you next week.
Game over.